I be able to see a chat feed or no?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, people. First time doing a live stream at Paragon, so we are figuring this out. If you're able to hear me right now, please make sure in the comments say that you have audio. That would be great. We appreciate you. I can hear somebody else's phones going, so we are good. We appreciate you taking the time tonight. For those of you that are joining, not have an idea what we're doing, we are doing a world's first C8 Corvette ZR1 on the dyno. Now, a little bit of backstory. We actually just picked this car up yesterday at noon in Bowling Green, Kentucky. We were able to drive it 500 break-in miles. We have another ZR1 here, which is Michael Sorby's, and then this is Steven's car. They're giving us the opportunity that we couldn't be more honored to be able to have these cars here, put the 500 miles on them, get the dyno ready for you, as well as a ton of R&D. Plenty of parts going on these the next few days, but we know everybody wants to know, what do these cars put down to the wheels? So in the comment section, go ahead and start making your guesses. This car makes 1,064 flywheel or crank power from the factory. Doesn't matter if it's ZTK or not, 1,064. So I'm going to go over to the comments. Let's see some of these guesses. And tonight we have Graham, who is our tuner. He is in the driver's seat. He's going to be running this in 4th gear 2 times, a time in 5th gear, and then we're going to do, did you say 2, 3, 4? 3, 4, 5. We're going to be doing a 3, 4, 5 gear pull with some decelerization. Pre-warning, mics are probably going to blow up. It's going to be super loud in here. You may not have a very high quality of the exhaust because of how loud this car is, but it's going to be super cool. So what are some of the guesses we have in the comments going right now?
1005, 957.
1005, 957, 940, 874. 874. Come on, give us a little more credit than that. All right, we got some pretty good guesses in here. After this video is made, because we have the opportunity to have 2 C8 ZR1s here, we will have a more in-depth video because we've already seen a little bit of variances on other models, so we're sure we're going to see variances on these. Since we have the cars here, we might as well test them. Different coolant temps, different oil temps, different fuel temps. Everything is going to be a variance in these, but without further ado, Graham, are you ready?
Do it.
Perfect. Rob, Ethan, we ready?
We're ready.
Well, I know you guys are sick of seeing me, so let's see the fun stuff. Okay. back on mic. They're both on low. Yep. All right. Well, hopefully the audio quality was as good as it sounds in person, because that is wild. How's the comment sections looking right now, everybody? All right, what are we hitting with?
High nines.
All right, high nines and everything.
Some people want to know how much mileage is on the car.
How many miles are on the car? Probably, yeah, I have to get out of track mode.
539.
539 miles. I think we started this dyno run today. I think we're at like 520-ish, 525. We've done a couple runs prior to this and everything, but you're not going to get sick of hearing and listening to that again. I hope some of the audio was as good quality that it is in person. And if it's not, we have our open house going on this Saturday, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. We're going to have Lachelle Burger Truck, which is the best burger in Des Moines, if not Iowa. We're going to have Outside Scoop, some of the best ice cream, and we're going to have either this car or the white ZR1 of Michael's on the dyno. So if the quality wasn't good enough, come check us out here this Saturday, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Fly in, drive in. It's going to be an awesome event. So I'm going to grab Graham before we share this ridiculous number. Kind of want him to go over his background. He's been, I don't know how many dyno runs he's done on a C8, but it's got to be on the thousands. So kind of go over what we did, why we did it. Then I'm going to go grab the dyno graph, and we'll show you all the final number. Perfect. So I'm going to go grab the final dyno number. You can see yourself there on camera.
Yeah.
Kind of just give a little bit of history lesson about yourself for those that haven't seen you, how we test it, why we test it that way, what the dyno is, what STD, just SEA, how we do that stuff very quickly while I grab that number.
Okay. Hey guys, Graham, co-owner of Paragon Performance, also do all the performance and tuning stuff here. Yeah, so this is pretty exciting, testing a ZR1 with 500 miles on it. So yeah, we do a lot of dyno testing. A lot of different companies send us parts to test, things to validate, because we have a dyno cell, because we can control all the variables, and because we can, you know, make sure the testing is done appropriately. So that's what we did here with this car, is we make sure we control the temperatures of the room, the humidity. Obviously it's whatever it is outside, but it doesn't change from run to run because it keeps changing out the air in the room in here. We also do all the runs from the same starting temperatures. We monitor all those with HP tuners and log everything. So yeah, create some consistent environment here to test everything.
Yeah.
You got the graph?
I have the graph, and to me, this is the highest that I've ever seen here. Have we seen higher?
On a C8?
On a C8? Oh, no. Not out of a C8.
Just in general. I think
Just
the highest we've seen is like 1,300 with that twin turbo Camaro.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
We've had a few that are over 1,000, but
yeah. So this C8 ZR1 in 5th gear.
Yep.
I wonder if it's like Top Gear style, you know, like when they do the times.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give it away. Starts with a 1, 0, 28.60. If you didn't hear me, 1,028.60 to the rear wheels. Now the torque, what are these rated at from the factory, torque? Anybody know? Leave it in the comments if you know what the factory torque rating is. The torque is a whopping 839.85. What do you think with that? You're the tuner. To me, those are cool numbers.
Isn't that's about what they rate them at the flywheel? So
1,064.
So they're a little underrated in good conditions. So especially in 5th gear where it can load up and make all the torque and all the boost.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's hold this up to the camera.
Yeah,
I'm sure they're killing to see this. Take the mic for a second. Let me know. Can you read that? All right, screenshot that, take it. That is absolutely insane.
Yeah, that's a lot.
1,028 wheel horsepower, and we're just gonna make it faster.
Right.
I mean, we may have already made it a little faster on another car. May have already done intake testing. We have exhaust to test. We have cats to test.
Stuff, yeah.
So while 1,028 is pretty cool, I mean, now the sky's the limit. We might as well make it a little higher.
Right.
So I'm impressed with that. After this video, because we have the opportunity to have two C8 ZR1s here, we're going to be doing more in-depth testing with both cars. We have seen variances in the past with the Stingray, with the Z06, with the E-Ray. For example, Stingray, we've seen it as low as 415 rear wheel horsepower
Oh yeah.
and as high as 455.
Well, with these being turbocharged, the differences are going to be even more. We might see 150 horsepower difference from low octane to high octane. So these are going to be very different, even so, than the NA cars.
Octane difference, humidity difference, temperature difference, coolant temps. There's so many variances. So what better way to test it than when we have two cars, a Graham, and a dyno? So I think that's going to wrap it up. We're not going to run it anymore. This video is going to be live after this. Look for a more in-depth video with us sometime next week. That's going to give us a week allowed for testing, data logging, and also testing some aftermarket parts like an Venturi cold air intake, like an exhaust and everything. So we appreciate you taking the time and joining us tonight. This has been absolutely incredible for our very first live stream, and we wouldn't have been able to do this without Michael and Steven. Steven brought us our very first Z06. He brought us our very first E-Ray. Now him and Michael paired together, bringing us our first ZR1s. That friendship that we built over the years is, I can't explain it with words. So we're beyond thankful for you and your families allowing you to take the time and the craziness of coming to Paragon with us for a week. So without further ado, I think that's it. Thank you for joining.